when government and institutional investor, bank, family office, financial institution will accept that, sky's the limit, and the market cap of that will be very high.
What was that personal aha moment that you had which convinced you that bringing real estate on chain is the future? I know you've been in Miami, France, and you saw that okay, people are not able to access liquidity. But what was that aha moment?
What I always say is the fact that with tokenization, you create a token. This token you can trade everywhere.
From this, if you had to take a leap of faith now, let's say, what would be the next technology that you believe will assist, will be the external catalyst for your platform to accelerate mainstream adoption, apart from tokenized properties? Hi, Ronnie. Welcome to What Are You Tokenizing? How are you doing today?
Amazing. Thank you, Harman, for receiving me.
So, you are calling from Dubai today, right?
Yes, exactly.
The land of opportunities for all us Web3 folks.
Yeah, yeah, very, very, a lot of traction, especially on the tokenization field, especially right now.
Absolutely. And before we get into Dubai and its ecosystem, I would love for you to give a brief introduction about yourself, about the platform that you are building, so that the audience has some context.
Yes, with pleasure. So, yeah, Vesta is a crowdfunding tokenization platform. We tokenize real estate, but now we shift a little bit to a more product like private equity, debt, and bonds. Yeah, I'm Ronnie. All my life, I used to work in real estate. I used to live in France and also Miami. What I dislike about the real estate industry was the fact that um, a lot of competition and not a lot of access for small investor. So that's why I understand that tokenization it's maybe the key to be able to divide ownership and real estate. So I started that in 2022 in Miami. 6 months ago, even more, I relocated the company in Dubai because of investor, and also I participate to a lot of event, and I understand that the traction is there. So I decided to relocate to get my license to be able to tokenize. What I really like in Dubai, it's not tokenization of a company, of an SPVs that own the asset. It's a tokenization of the direct title deed, and I think it's amazing. So yeah, this is where we are with Vesta. Two platform, one for retail. You can invest from $100. One from for institutional investor, bank, family office, and minimum investment $100,000. But same crowdfunding system, tokenization software.
Amazing, amazing. No, you touched a very key point there. Many people believe SPV is the only way to tokenize, but it's not actually a very I'll say proper way of tokenization. It was a hack that we used to do. It is something that we need to do when the authorities are not giving the go ahead from their side. But in a country like Dubai, where you have the land authorities also participating in this process of putting everything on chain, so to say, it makes it easier to make a comprehensive ecosystem that actually uses the technology, not just from a manual process, but actual technology. So great to hear that thought. But what was that personal aha moment that you had which convinced you that bringing real estate on chain is the future? I know you've been in Miami, France, and you saw that okay, people are not able to access liquidity. But what was that aha moment?
Yes. So at the end, I didn't understand, like a lot of people, what is the real advantage of tokenization instead of classical crowdfunding. For example, in Dubai, you have a company like Stake. Stake is a crowdfunding, and crowdfunding exists since like 20, 30 years. You invest together in a property, you fund, you receive dividend. What is the real difference with tokenization? And Arman, it's a question that a lot of person ask me. And what I always say is the fact that with tokenization, you create a token. This token, you can trade it in my exchange, so my platform, but also in other exchange. And the fact that it's open to liquidity, you can fractionalize one token You don't have the obligation to stay in one platform. And the fact that even if we tokenize an asset and Vesta in the future don't exist, you still have this ownership, this certificate that you can trade everywhere. This is the biggest advantage. Um, Very secure, everything happen in the blockchain, every transaction you can track, you can check the market price, the market cap of the token, see if there is a real correlation with the price of the asset, making arbitrage with the price of the token. This is the real technology. So it's a crowdfunding platform, but on the next level, using Web3.
Amazing, amazing. Love that explanation. So, in all this scenario, you mentioned security. You mentioned other factors like even if I'm dead, I know my land titles are not going anywhere. My children can then have their authority over that land that I left for them. Right. All of this is there. But if you had to pinpoint one biggest pain point that you're solving with your platform, what would it be? The biggest pain point that convinces you, okay, this is by far the most important.
Yes, so I advise every person that want to launch a tokenization platform. Uh, the the biggest issue and what was very difficult for us in the beginning is to build trust with the community. So when you start that, it's very easy to scam people. You create a token, you say that there is a correlation with assets that don't exist, and you can just collect the money and disappear. So the most important, even if we have all the agreement and we have an escrow account and we build trust, it's very complicated, especially on the beginning, to onboard clients. So the marketing you do to onboard clients, don't expect to make profit. Tokenization platform is not profitable company, especially in the beginning. You need to build for the future. But what is amazing right now, and like you say on the start of the podcast, is tokenization of the title deed. This is backed by the DLD, Dubai Land Department, backed by the government itself. When you buy the token, you receive a certificate that you are the real owner on the title deed. So very secure. We get the license. You can see that we are approved to make this project. So this is more secure. But if you want to launch a tokenization platform on the classical way, the most difficult part will be to build trust with your community and to be totally transparent via the blockchain, via the company, the escrow account, the SPV, the agreement, the two side, the one of the investor, the one of the developer side that you tokenize. You need to be fully transparent to communicate. Communication is the key.
Understood. Understood. No, definitely, that's a valid point. I think that goes in top of our list now. Trust is the number one factor. Everything else can be achieved, but trust is something you have to earn really, and that's where the regulatory authorities kick in. Without their intervention, nothing can be done. It's all a platform with a good vision, but not that kind of trust that the authorities can bring. So. Considering this scenario, there was a post that you wrote in March over LinkedIn that real estate investing is now driven by accessibility, technology, and transparency, right? So we have discussed how government authority can help streamline this process. We can create trust, we can add more liquidity, and we can help make get it to the maximum number of people. But we all know that there is always some manual process involved. There is some legacy part that is there in all the tokenization platforms. So, what is that legacy part that blocks your vision still? Maybe settlement time, cross border KYC. What's that legacy part that you feel like if this is solved, then my platform can go haywire?
Yeah, I think the banking system, if we should implement the banking system directly inside the tokenization platform like my platform, it will be amazing. What I mean by that is, for example, uh, this token will represent equity, okay, or it represents real estate, or it represents a share of a big company like private equity, debt bonds. So if it represents, it have a real value on the market. But now the bank and the market don't accept that. If the bank will accept and understand that, for example, Arman have a token inside my platform that represents $10,000 of an apartment in Dubai, you should have access to a loan. Okay, you should ask for a bank to give you 60 or 70% of the amount because they are secured by the fact that this token should be in collateral. And even in the case of defaults that you don't pay your lending agreement, they should take this token and trade it in the secondary market. This is one thing. It should be. It's a dream for Vesta to accomplish that. We're working on that. But once the big player like the bank and the government, we see the government is still there with Dubai, but it's just the beginning. But let's say in the world accept security token and what we call deed token. It's title deed token because it's not security token. So it's not a token that represent the share of the company. It's tokens that represent the title deed. When government and institutional investor, bank, family office, financial institution will accept that, sky's the limit, and the market cap of that will be very high.
Amazing, amazing. I see why that's a dream for Vesta. That's definitely a ecosystem that we all can really enjoy. So, one thing that came to my mind while you were saying these things, Vesta has been there for some time now, right? So, what was the scenario before and after from that Dubai land department, when they formally approved property tokenization? So what was Vesta doing before and how it changed, how Vesta started, how you improvised, how you adjusted to the Dubai land department's property tokenization approval process?
Mm. Yeah, yeah, very, very good question. So first about the Dubai land department, it's just for now it's a pilot project. So there is only one company approved by the Dubai land department. It's a Pripco that tokenize the title deed. It's a test. Okay, they test the market, but it seems a very successful project, and now they will be able to onboard more company like me to be able to tokenize the title deed. But before that, and still now, what we do it's tokenization of a company. So we open a company. We already tokenize more than 100 property in United States. We tokenize also almost all over the world via our third partner co-listing. But what we do in general, we open a company. The only purpose of this company is to buy an asset, and after we divide the company into share, and every share are represented by a token. So if you invest in my platform, you will be automatically the shareholder of the company who own the asset. So for each asset that we tokenize, there is a specific vehicle that we call SPV. So sometimes it's the full company, sometimes it's just a vehicle of the company. So very safe because you know that this company own the asset and you own the company. And the control, and this is what we do in Vesta, the control is given to the community. So for big decision, it's the community who make a vote. For example, if we think that it's the moment to sell the property, what we do in general investor platform, we send the email to all the token holder that we think that this is the time to sell, this is the price we receive. If more than 50% of the token holder, this token owner, decide to sell the property, so 50% of the person who votes, okay, it's not all because a lot of people don't vote, decide to sell, we will sell the property, we'll collect the money, and we will distribute the dividends, and we will burn the token and the company. So the community have the power. We are just a broker. We just connect the real estate or the asset to the investor via a tokenization vehicle.
Amazing, amazing. That seems interesting. And what KPI tells you that Vesta has, been more closer to uh, the vision that you set initially, and after the land authority approved the property tokenization, that this KPI makes us believe that yes, now we are much closer to our vision. Is it the number of properties that you tokenize, or is it something else?
Yeah, so the number of properties that we tokenize, we have a big experience in the market, playing a big role with institutional investor, family office, but also retail investor. So to have access, to be able to tokenize on the most legal way in Dubai, you need to have the license. So we call that the VARA license. Of course, if you don't have any experience in tokenization, you can apply for the license, but it's not sure that you will get it because you need to have a lot of experience, a full team behind you. So,
And it's
so,
one of the most important licenses out there. If you have VARA, then you can do a lot of good things in Dubai.
so if you are Vara, you can do a lot of things. You can market the product in Dubai. You can issue the token in Dubai, things that was not possible before. Pipco and Control Alt. Control Alt is the company who issued the token. So it was the first issuance of token in Dubai 2 months ago with the DLD project. So yes, there is a multiple license that you can pass. The one broker dealer, it's to distribute the token. Issuer license, it's to issue the token. Custody license, it's to secure the fund, like an escrow account to secure the token. So Vara made an amazing job to regulate the industry and to say, okay, tokenization is crypto is not only utility token, it's not only meme coin. There is some new technology of real world assets backed token that have a real value, and this is the technology we want to help because we understand that there is a add value to give access to investor to the market, and to help also the real estate market because right now in Dubai maybe 1% of the world can invest. You need to have a lot of million to be able to invest in real estate in Dubai. No loan also because it's Sharia compliance, so the bank will not help you to give access to mortgage. So tokenization is the key. You can invest even from 100 dirham, $100. I don't know how much it represents in rupee, but maybe it will be possible even with 1 rupee to invest in Dubai in the future. Now it's I think it's minimum 2,000 dirhams. So
And that's the vision that Bitcoin also came with, right? Eventually, when blockchain started with Bitcoin, that was the vision initially, that anyone can invest any amount, it doesn't matter. But if you believe that one asset can truly grow, then you can be a part of that growth, right? You don't have to have such big check sizes to wait for it. And similarly, that's what real estate tokenization is doing. And with Dubai's VARA, I think it's making it more trustworthy, as you rightly pointed out. That trust is the biggest factor, and VARA is equal to trust in that market.
yes, yes. So Vara made an amazing job. Also, Pripco, it's my competitor, but they did a very good job. And you know, on this field, we are not competitor because we want to democratize tokenization, and we are here for each other because the market is huge and there is space for anybody. But what they did was amazing. You know, they even give discount for the first properties that they tokenize. They lose 20 or 30% on the price of the property just to onboard clients. You know, I spoke with my marketing director here in the company, and he explained me he's from India, and he explained me the strategy that made Google, Google Pay to implement in India. They give a lot of free money and reward and just to onboard client, and this is what Tripco did, and I think it's an amazing strategy to do that just for build trust and democratize the field.
Absolutely, no, I believe in the same thing. If you tell someone that your data will be safe, your privacy is maintained, and it's a decentralized system, no one is going to come. Incentivization is the only key, and I think that's why maybe blockchain started with Bitcoin, not directly with decentralization of data. Incentivization is the key on getting people on board. Once they see and experience the new world where they have all this facility additional to incentivization, they can't go back ever. So that's
In,
definitely
yeah,
good.
yes. So they put the deed in the blockchain. Since they do that, they cannot back up. You know what we will do with all these investors that already buy this token. We need to find a solution, and at the end, uh, I in Dubai everything is possible. Like in general, everything is possible. But if they will face some challenges, but they will find solution.
True.
And yeah, so I trust them. It took time to build that. It's not something that was built in 1 month. But now the investor and even the people from the royal family are very happy from what happened with their it's they give the approval for that. So it's not a joke. It's a real project and a real vision um, to implement tokenization in the real estate world in Dubai. I hope it will be like that all over the world. I know that a lot of time when Dubai take the lead, a lot of countries follow that because they want the first one to move. I heard that in Portugal, they want to tokenize the title deed. Also in Africa, in Zanzibar. In Zanzibar, it should be possible very soon to tokenize the title deed. So yeah, it will happen slowly. A company like me are we are very happy from that because we have experience. I choose this field without knowing that, and now it's a big change for
It,
me.
it, it
It
was a
was
leap of faith that you took and eventually turned out well.
yes, exactly.
But this is an amazing information that you shared. I didn't know that Portugal and Zanzibar and Africa, they are now following in the footsteps of Dubai. Yes, we have seen Vietnam and Thailand and other countries announcing, with Hong Kong and US giving stable coins a proper regulatory framework. But this land tokenization and other tokenization aspects, it's amazing to know. So apart from this, if you had to take a leap of faith now, let's say, what would be the next technology that you believe will assist, will be the external catalyst for your platform to accelerate mainstream adoption, apart from tokenized properties? Maybe it's CBDCs, maybe it's AI powered analysis, maybe Mika, maybe some other regulatory environment. What technology would you feel like is the next leap of faith that you might take?
Yeah, we working a lot with AI. We everyone now is working with AI. I don't know one business that don't use that even just for writing mail and ChatGPT and get the right info. I think to create a full autonomous process that will be able to invest your money with tokenization it's possible. So you just need to create a bot. It's your own bot, and you will tell him like, I like to invest in this kind of property. I like real estate in Dubai. I like real estate in United States. I'm looking for big return on investment, cheap property, starting from $1,000 price of the token. Find me investor, find me investment. So this is something that we working slowly on. But I think it's the future, and also um, to right now every currency in the world deflates because there is inflation and um, there is a real challenge to secure your money. You need to invest. Okay, the price of $20 back in 2002 was not the same price than now. So people understand that and understand that the key is investment. This dollar is indexed in nothing. Every currency don't have a real correlation with something. It's just the price of the market, and that's why it go down. Imagine with tokenization that it will be possible to pay with Bitcoin, to pay with USDT, to pay with real estate. So imagine that in your portfolio you have real estate backed token that represent a real asset, and you go to the supermarket and you pay with that. So you don't need even to invest your money. You don't need to be careful of that. You can pay with a token that represent real world asset. I think this is the future. We are really far from that, really far, especially on the regulation, and the bank will be our enemy, and the government also maybe don't like this idea. But yeah, I think this is something that can be amazing if we are able to do that in the future.
Got it. Amazing. So, Ronnie, this has been a great conversation, and I'm sure the audience would have got us some great insights. I just have a couple small questions, more like a curiosity kind of questions from my side before we end this podcast. What is the most overhyped word in real estate tokenization?
The most really, I didn't get it.
Most overhyped buzzword.
The power of real estate tokenization.
No, no. So I'm saying that what is that term people use in real estate tokenization which you feel like is overhyped?
Ah, no, very very good question, and I'm very happy that you asked me this question. Yeah, so a lot of people speak about real estate tokenization, and especially here in Dubai, without understanding the full process of the tokenization, and just like um, make a confusion between utility token, crypto, and tokenization. So for me, since my beginning, now there is more democratization on that, but since the beginning, it was like a very painful explanation that I gave to people maybe 1,000 times. No, we are not utility tokens. There is no volatility, and to explain that there is no correlation between the price of the Bitcoin and the price of a real world asset token. Um, this is something that little bit pissed me off in the beginning, but now it's better and people understand, and especially with the relation between the title deed and the token, um, people will try to um, understand this part of the tokenization market.
Amazing, amazing. Definitely that goes on my list as well now. I'll start a room with that. And for the last question, Ronnie, what is that dream property that you would want to see tokenized on your platform?
So right now in Dubai, because at the end it's real estate, we tokenize a lot of things, but for the platform, the retail platform, it's only real estate. I really like Dubai as an investment, and I think there is a lot of what we call distress deal in Dubai, especially because people don't have access to mortgage, and there is a lot of payment plan. So when you buy an off-plan property, it's like a land. There is nothing ready. You put 20% down payment. You give that to the developer, to Damak, to Emma, and you follow the payment plan until the end over. And I had a wonderful conversation with the CFO of Damak, who told me that a lot of people uh, put this 20% down payment, but what they don't understand that they need to follow the payment plan and they need to inject money until the end. So what happened is they are struggle to pay the payment, and they cannot at some point, and they're ready to sell it at very cheap just to get their money back. So a lot of properties in Dubai like that. If you check in some website like Property Finder, you will see a lot what we call distress deal. And I want to help these people and to bring a solution to them in with tokenization, to tokenize off-plan project and what we call off-plan distress deal, to enter in the middle of the payment plan.
Amazing. But what is that one dream property of yours? Let's say, I'll give an example. In previous podcast, someone wanted to tokenize the Eiffel Tower. Someone wanted to
Ah,
tokenize a football stadium. What is that dream property that you would want to tokenize on your platform?
so for me, it's not very important each property. I can tell you that I want to tokenize the Burj Khalifa or the Dubai Mall, but it's not that important. What investor want, it's the return on investment. And sometimes, just to tokenize the Burj Khalifa, it's maybe not the best return on investment or the best appreciation. It's just like a stamp that we did that. I'm more the, I want to be the Amazon of real estate. So to offer you all the possibility on the world. If you want to invest in a token that represent an hotel like the Ritz-Carlton, you will be able to do that. If you want to invest in a distressed property in Business Bay, you will be able. If you want to invest in a commercial property in Mumbai, you will be able to do that. If you want to invest in even a single family property in Cleveland, United States. So I want to bring everything and you make your own property. The dream property is not my property, it's the ones that my customer choose.
That's an amazing thought process. To summarize that, even if you tokenize Burj Khalifa, what's the point of tokenizing a iconic building like Burj Khalifa if it's not giving that return to the investor? It's not made to be tokenized; it's made to be iconic, right? And in the same sentence, if we tokenize something which maybe doesn't even have a name, right, but still is giving a good return to investors, that's something that matters more. And I think that's the vision that a lot of people need to carry in this industry, that can really push this industry forward, our tokenization and web3 industry. Amazing. Thank you so much, Ronnie, for that closing amazing remark. That is one takeaway that I definitely have. Thank you for your time today. It was a great discussion, and I'm sure a lot of people will gain good insights from your information.
Thank you, Arman. Thank you for your time. It was amazing podcast. And let me know. And if someone want to contact me, you can find me in LinkedIn or in our platform vestacapital.io or Rony Dahan in LinkedIn. Um, yeah, it was a real pleasure.
Thank you so much.